Minister, the agriculture sector is facing a 30% emission reduction target by 2030 due to the failure by government to progress any actions over the last 2 years to reduce emissions. And while there is plenty of stick being doled out to farmers to meet these targets, there is not too much carrot. So, Minister, I want to know what is being planned to encourage farmers to sequester carbon and get rewarded for it.
Thank you, Deputy Minister Hayden.
And I'd like to thank Denis Naughten for raising this important matter here today. The recent publications of the Commission's Communication on Sustainable Carbon Cycles has sent a clear signal to European Member States on the need to increase the ambition and participation of our land managers in the area of carbon removals and reductions. Under the recently updated All-of-Government Climate Action Plan 2021, the Government has committed to explore the development of carbon farming model. This commitment is in recognition of the important role that land managers will play in the achievement of our national climate change mitigation targets and the potential to reward these land managers for their additional carbon sequestration activities. To address this action, officials within my department have formed the Carbon Farming Working Group to examine how an enabling framework for carbon farming can be developed. A key element to future efforts required for carbon sequestration reward model will be the establishment of a national baseline data for a range of activities. To this end, and taking a proactive approach, we have provided core funding for a number of relevant initiatives, such as the establishment of the National Agricultural Soil Carbon Observatory, the Pilot Soil Sampling Programme and the Farm Environmental Scheme, along with a number of European Innovation Partnership EIP research projects based on peat soils. These national research and demonstration activities will have key learnings for future policy in this area, while also leading to a refinement of data to the National Inventory Reporting Framework for greenhouse gas emissions. The current Woodland Environmental Fund, administered through my department as part of the National Afforestation Programme, provides us with a pre-existing model for targeted payments to land managers for their positive environmental activities, which will be of significant benefit to the future rollout of a dedicated carbon farming incentive to the Irish market. In conclusion, our farm families and landowners are key to delivering national climate change targets. In fact, they are taking a real leadership role in meeting our ambitions. Offering farm families the opportunity to derive new income streams from their land is something that I'm excited about working with, and I look forward to working with all stakeholders on innovations such as carbon farming, contributing to the future development of Irish-specific voluntary carbon market.
Thank you,
Minister. I'm afraid there's not too much excitement relayed in that response. And as you know, Minister, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has pointed out that mitigating greenhouse gases alone will not get us to net zero. We need to increase our carbon stocks, and measuring what we have in our soils, in our hedges and trees is key to that. And then improving our soil health and in turn storing more carbon in our soil and rewarding farmers. But to do this, we need to establish a carbon measuring, reporting and verification process, which has already started in Northern Ireland. So, Minister, why not here? And Minister, why are we still tinkering away at pilots instead of getting on and delivering on this project for the whole country?
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Caroline. The challenge you have here, Deputy, is to have a baseline. You need to have your baseline so that you can adequately mark in the future the activities the farmers are having. So, should we have been at this earlier than these few years? Probably, yeah. So if we had our baseline from 5–10 years ago, we'd be in a stronger position now. But it's why the investment we're doing now is so important and is absolutely critical to have a meaningful carbon farming option and income stream for farmers into the future. And that's why the investment we have in the National Agricultural Soil Carbon Observatory, which will comprise of a network of greenhouse gas measuring flux towers that are a really significant investment on our part, with up to 20 being funded through the Department of Agriculture across a range of farm enterprises and soil types. These are critical. These sites are managed by Teagasc, will be established on a range of soils, adding value to existing Teagasc projects, including the industry co-funded Signpost Farms and the Agricultural Catchments Programme. And the resulting National Agricultural Soil Carbon Observatory will place Ireland to the forefront of EU carbon sequestration research.
Thank you.
Minister, you're not going to get a baseline with 20 sites. To get the ball rolling, we need to support a comprehensive carbon soil analysis programme across this country, and we need to roll out the LiDAR airborne surveys on our land. But instead of expanding the airborne surveys, the Department of the Environment has suspended its existing programme. But should we be surprised? Government has net deforestation, felling more trees than they're planting. Farmers and homeowners are not being paid since last June for renewable electricity that they're putting onto the grid, even though the right was forced in Ireland because I signed up to it in 2018 despite strong opposition at the time, and they're still not being paid today. Is it any wonder that the government is demanding farmers cut emissions by 1/3 more over the next 8 years as government continues to sit on its hand and talk about pilots?
I respectfully disagree with, a suggestion of sitting on hands. Okay, we've talked about the National Agricultural Soil Carbon Observatory, which obviously is important, and the flux towers being in the different locations is a key component of that. But we also have, and that's true, working with the Teagasc Signpost programme, we also have the pilot soil sampling programme, which is very important. The EIPs in the area of repeat and the farm peat EIPs, these locally led, innovative, results-based farm schemes, the results-based element being absolutely critical to the changes and in how we gather that data. The National Soil Moisture Monitoring Network, which is a very important part, that will also involve soil moisture probes and new instruments known as cosmic ray soil moisture observing systems to be deployed across Ireland. These are a number of the measures that are being taken, and it is with a view to us being able to have that viable income for farmers to come from carbon farming as an additional source of income for their farming enterprises into the future.